after completing. So after immediately completion of graduation, so where you want to go and how to get the job and how to choose the career, how to prepare for government examinations, and which service is better service, and why people are attracting to write civil service examinations. So these kind of information is going to be delivered now. So you have to listen carefully, and I hope it is definitely useful to you. So let us start the sessions. First, civil services. So what does you mean by civil service? Anybody having any idea? Civil service means what?
Administration.
Civil
Union
service
public
means what?
administration.
Civil service means what? Anybody? I'm asking question.
Seva.
Please you
Seva,
respond.
sir.
Seva. Civil service and social service, any difference is there?
Smooth.
So what is the difference in between social service and civil service? So how can you distinguish civil service and social service? Both same or any differences? So civil service is nothing but it is whoever the registered citizens there in particular country.
కావాలంటే మీకు చెప్తాను తీరా సార్ యూపీఎస్సీ గురించి
అటెండ్ కావాలట స్వామి అందుకే
మ్యూట్ పెట్టాలి
మ్యూట్ పెట్టినా
Please mute yourself. Don't while delivering lecture, you don't talk, please. Students, so you mute yourself. So civil service nothing but the selected civil servants. They have to deliver their service to the registered citizen of the particular country. So that is called civil service. And they are called civil servants. So civil servants, they cannot deliver their service to everybody. Everybody means the non-citizens also, they cannot deliver their service. Only whoever registered citizens there in particular country, they can deliver their service to those particular people only. So that is called, this concept is called civil service. And whoever deliver those persons, they are called as civil servants. So why this civil service is one of the attractive service in the world? I'm not talking about India, not in India. In the world, one of the toughest examination, one of the attractive service in the world. Now, even the better position jobs are there, and rather IAS and IPS and both of these kind of services. But even the people, why they're attracting, choosing this kind of services? No, what is the motive behind it? So the motto is nothing but they are enjoying powers. So what kind of powers they are enjoying, we can discuss later. Before we discussing the power enjoyment, so we have to discuss detailedly about how to capture the power. So in the world, capturing power in 5 senses, and that means 5 ways are there. So the first one is bullet. So if you use the bullet and can capture the power, then ballot. In democracy, you can use the ballot paper and you can capture the power. Then blood, you can create some violence and you can capture. The service is called. But regarding the social service, it is not like that. Social service, anybody can establish NGOs. They can render their services by using their own kind of resources. That is called social service. For doing the social service, no need to write the civil service examination. If you want to render the services by using the government forces, then you have to write civil service examination. So that is called civil service. So in such a way, civil service is different from the remaining social service and corporate services. So this is the service. So why people are attracting so many good job people also they are attracting towards the civil services? What is the reason? The reason is nothing but remaining all kind of services, they having everything. The good salary is there, good incentives are there, good accommodation is there, good facilities are there, transport facilities are there, everything is there, but except power. Whatever the power except civil services, remaining all services having all kind of facilities except power. Only power it is there in civil service. Civil service jobs directly can interact with the people. Directly they having very good relation with the people. So this was the civil service is more attractive and one kind of was a very difficult kind of services in the world. So thus was most of the people they are choosing civil services. So what kind of power they are enjoying? We can discuss one by one. There are three powers are there. You know that very well, as you know that legislative power, the executive power, and judicial powers. So these are the powers are there. For legislative powers, actually, the elected representatives they are enjoying. But elected representatives like country like India, the developing society, the peoples are anybody can contest in election. Now, anybody means without literacy, proper qualification, without literacy also they can contest in election. They are electing, they become the public people representatives. And he is for the sake it is he's a people representative, but he don't know what is the law, how to act, where to act, how to frame the policies, how to implement the policies, how to execute, how to supervise, how to monitor these kind of things. Being a layman, our elected representatives, they don't have any idea. So to ensure these kind of things,
Sir,
here.
sorry for interrupting, sir. So, yes, I invite join. His busy schedule, just sir will speak few minutes. So now I request Tirupati sir, Assistant Professor of Political Science, will welcome to the principal Dr. G. Balabhaskar garu.
Good morning, sir. It's my privilege to invite our Honorable Principal, sir, to today's program. On behalf of Department of Political Science, Public Administration and Social Sciences, I warmly welcome to our dynamic principal and illustrious principal, Dr. P. Balabhaskar garu, to grace the program and give his blessing to us. It is very proud moment to invite our principal. He's a vast experienced person and very dynamic, and he's also very kind-hearted person. Thank you so much, sir, for joining this program. It's over to you, sir.
Thank you, thank you. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, good morning, very good morning.
Yes.
I'm very
So, ma'am,
happy to
starting
be
again.
with you all. Very happy to be with you all on this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I must congratulate the Public Administration
thank you, sir.
Department and Political Science Department of City College for arranging such a very good webinar, which is very useful to our students, I hope, I believe. And I must also thank on behalf of staff and the students of City College to Dr. Srinu garu for accepting our invitation and coming to this particular webinar to share his knowledge with our students and the staff in particular.
Thank you.
So
thank
the
you, sir.
topic of today's webinar is personal governance and role of Union Public Service Commission. Hope this is a very important topic that has been chosen by the PABAD as well, Political Science Department, because it is one of the very important thing that has to be think over. So the personal governance and role of Union Public Service Commission as a part of the administration, definitely governance is one of the very important parameter where the governments are proving themselves whether they are giving good governance to the public or not. This is one of the very important aspect. And even the political parties are very much focused on this particular governance, personal governance and role of Union Public Service Commission. And the very important aspect is that the policy is a very important, not only for personal governance, for public governance, whatever it may be, even in a college like City College or any other college, we should have a policy for each and every activity that is been going on in our college. For example, suppose we have the admission process. So for the admission process, we must have a policy. The City College should have a policy on the admissions. City College should have a policy on the academic activities. It should have a policy on curricular activities. It should have a policy on co-curricular activities. So therefore, in every activity and in every aspect, the policy document is one of the very, very important document. Once the policy is being designed, once the policy is being taken, and immediately we should have think of its mechanism, how to take into the stakeholders. So once the mechanism is being developed, once the process is developed, after the policy process to be developed, and finally it comes to the execution. So the execution, definitely it has to be taken care. So this is a very, very important aspect, not only for the personal governance or the public governance, whatever it may be, even for a country, even for a college, even for a home also, this policy document is very important in every aspect. That is the reason I believe the Department of Public Administration and Political Science have taken a decision to conduct a webinar on this particular topic, like personal governance and role of Union Public Service Commission. So what is the policy? What were the policies of Union Public Service Commission in the personal governance aspect? I think those things are going to be discussed by our resource person. So definitely hope the students are going to take more benefit out of this particular what do you call the webinar. And I must congratulate the convener of the program, Dr. A. Shankar Kumar, and as well the coordinator of the program, Ajay Sultana, Madam Vice Principal, and co-conveners Bhaskar Garu and Tirupati Garu. So it's a very good topic that you have chosen. My congratulations to you. And I should thank our today's resource person, Dr. G. Srinu Garu, for coming and for accepting and for sparing his valuable time with us, with our students. So I hope this webinar is going to give a good impact on the student community as well as lecturer community. So I am very sorry for joining the program. I thought generally the programs are at 11 o'clock, but because it is a program that is on public personal governance and public administration, I believe that you have started at 10 a.m. itself. So I am very sorry. I joined a little late, and I am very sorry to even resource person for interrupting his lecture. I am very much thankful to all the organizers for giving me this opportunity to share and to be with you on this day. Thank you all. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
sir.
for your valuable suggestions and good ideas. Really, you have a knowledge in the reorganization. So, even though you are a background of the science, but you are a good knowledge in the social sciences also, sir. Definitely, we will follow your valuable suggestions in future, and we will be part of in the development of City College, sir. Thank you for your valuable suggestion and sparing for the time, even though you have a busy schedule with minute-to-minute program. Thank you once again, and I welcome all the faculty of the social sciences of the City College and the other colleagues. Once again, welcome to all the webinar. And dear students, we will have 2 sessions and 10:41, and we will get a participation certificate. In the second session, we will share the chart box. So over to Srinu, sir. Please continue.
Okay, sir, thank you. And again,
Thank you,
starting
sir.
here. So why people are attracting towards civil services, even though there are so many deserved services are there, even though the people, even professional level people also, they are attracting towards the writing civil service examination. So what are the reason why they are choosing, why they are attracting towards these services? We can discuss one by one. So the main reason is nothing but it is power. So all other power services, they don't have the power, but civil services having, it is very good, the enjoyment exercising of powers are here. So for example, there are three type of powers are there in democracy. For example, first one legislative, executive, and judiciary. The for you take legislative. For example, actually for enjoying the exercising legislative powers, our elected representatives are there, but they don't have any knowledge in particular field. They're just layman only. They're not expertise in particular field. So for to ensure those kind of needs, to ensure the needs of the politicians, that means political representatives, here somebody needed, somebody should assist them. They are nothing but they are the civil servants. So in such a way, they are enjoying legislative power. Legislative power also they are enjoying. That means they are involving in policy making. They are interfering in policy making. They are advising to the policy makers. So half of the policies here suggested by civil servants. Thus was in the view of the bureaucracy, policy is nothing but whatever the suggestions and recommendation it is given by bureaucrats only. And being elected representatives or politicians, they don't have in-depth knowledge regarding policy making and policy implementation. And for sake, they are the elected representatives, but in practice, everything, every omission and commission here, the suggesting by here, the bureaucrats, that means civil servants only. In such a way, they are enjoying legislative powers. The executive powers, and here actually political executives and the permanent executives, two type of executives are here. Political executives, again, ministers, cabinet, and prime minister, a state level chief minister. They are called as the political executives. And here permanent executive is again civil servant. Your chief secretary is the permanent secretary, is a permanent executive. Your district collector is the permanent executive. Whoever rendering services by using civil services force, they are called as permanent executives. So permanent executives, they are not only implementing the policy, but also they are advising how to implement the policy, how to bring the policies to the politicians. So in such a way, they are exercising, they are enjoying the powers, executive powers. So legislative powers. Legislative powers, in fact, is court powers, our judiciary powers, and judiciary powers. So judiciary powers, in fact, they're given to the expertise judges and senior most judges. But in some cases, our civil servants also, they are enjoying judiciary powers. For example, if we take district collector, so what is the name board written? District collector office, district collector and magistrate. Magistrate means he also, district collector also, he can set the disputes in between the person, in between the parties. Parties mean not political parties. Parties means group. He can set the disputes. So that is called district magistrate. Now he cannot give the judgment, but can settle the matter. So in such a way, district collector enjoying judiciary power also. So no other people enjoying all three kind of powers. If it is a political leader is there, elected people, he can enjoy only legislative power. But our civil servants, they are enjoying all three kind of powers. And most of our tribunals are there. For example, Central Administrative Tribunal. Most of the position in Central Administrative Tribunal given to the civil servants. Administrative tribunals are nothing but one kind of court to resolve particular matters. So those kind of resolving particular matters in specific areas, those courts, the tribunals headed by civil servants. That means they are enjoying judiciary powers. For example, Green Court, Green Tribunal is there, Railway Tribunal is there, Labor Tribunals are there. All those, whatever the tribunals are there, those tribunals here headed by our civil servants, led by our civil servants. In such a way, they are enjoying judiciary power also. So our civil servants, they are enjoying legislative, executive, and judiciary powers. No other jobs are for there for enjoying these kind of powers. So civil service, very important service to exercise the power, to implement the power, to enjoy the power in a democratic country like India. So this is the reason most of the people, why they are attracting towards write the civil service examination. So this is the reason, enjoying the powers. Now, how many type of services are there in our civil services? How many type of services are there? There are two type of services are there. One is All India service, and the second one is central services. What are the All India services? How many All India services are there we having? Anybody else? How many All India services are there?
Sir, 3.
What are those?
IAS, IPS, and IFS.
IFS means what?
Indian Forest
Indian
Service.
Foreign Service.
Forest service or foreign service?
Foreign Service undi, Forest Service undi, sir.
So foreign service, it is central service or All India service?
Forest. Sir, Indian Forest.
Yes, sir.
All India Service.
Exactly.
Indian
Forest IFS, Indian Forest Service is All India service. Foreign service is only central service. Top most central service, even though it is advanced and competent to the IAS, but it is according to some technical issues, it is considered as the central service, Indian Foreign Service, Indian Forest Service, and Indian Police Service, Indian Administrative Service. These are the three All India service. So what is the difference between All India service and central service in terms of service? I'm asking. All India service, why we are calling them All India servants? Why we are calling them? All India means what?
Entire India.
భారతదేశంలో
Entire India means
అత్యుత్తమమైనవి.
what?
భారతదేశంలో అత్యుత్తమమైనవి.
All India services means what? వాటిని ఆల్ ఇండియా సర్వీస్ అని ఎందుకు కాలుస్తున్నారు?
Sir, All India Service
ఆల్
means
ఇండియా
they can posted by the central government at any part of the India, sir. That is called All India Services.
All India services means our India is it is a union of India. That means it's consisting 3 levels of governments are here. Central government, state government, and the local level governments. Central government is sovereign, and the state governments are the semi-sovereign, and the local governments are mini sovereigns. And all India servants, all India service selected people, now they are liable to give their service to all 3 level of governments. All 3 level of governments, they can give their service. For example, as a cabinet secretary, he can give his service to the central government. As a chief secretary, he can give the service to the state government. And as a municipal commissioner, he can give his service to the local government. So all India servant people, they can give, they can do, they can perform their service under all 3 level governments. So that is called All India service. All India service means they are eligible, they are liable to give all 3 level of governments. So that is the All India service. Central service means only they can depute under central government departments, central government corporations. They perform only under central government departments only. That is under central service. Similarly, here state service, every state they are having. So these kind of services, what we are calling All India service and central services. So that's why we are calling All India services. There are 3 types are there. Those IAS, IFS, and the IPS. So IFS, Indian Foreign Service. Why? Because Indian Foreign Service, why it is not regarding as All India service? Why that given exclusively and privilege to only civil service, the central service, to foreign service? What is the reason? Why? Because foreign affair, it is exclusively subject of central government. In foreign affairs, there are no bar, not at all state governments involving. Foreign affairs subject, exclusively central government subject. So dealing these foreign affairs, our Indian ambassadors, our Indian embassies, our Indian messengers, they are acting on behalf of government of India in other countries. Thus was it is called as central service only. In IFS, foreign service, only central service. This is a question anybody could ask in a competitive examination. IFS, foreign service. So it is only central service. So this is the reason. So these kind of services are there. Now we can write. Now we can discuss the pattern of civil service examination. There are 3 levels of examination that, as you know, that preliminary examination, mains examination, and the interviews. That means personality test is also there. So among 3 examinations, which examination is the most toughest? Preliminary, mains, or interview? Which is the toughest part?
Mains.
Mains examination toughest or preliminary or interview? Anybody else?
Interview, sir.
Individual to individual, sir.
Interview,
Some
sir.
people feel mains are very tough. Some people may feel interview is tough, sir. This
I am
difference.
asking in terms of intensity, in terms of gravity of competition.
Sir.
In terms of gravity of competition, preliminary examination is the toughest part. For 150 posts, how many aspirants they are writing? Preliminary examination, 3 lakhs to 4 lakhs people they are applying. But that means what is the ratio? You can imagine. To filter 4 lakhs people for 150 services, what is the ratio? You can calculate it. And to filter all those people, it's very difficult. Thus was our UPSC's writing, that means recruiting system, very, very difficult. So why they are practicing such a difficult method in the world? Why? Because to eliminate the inefficient candidates. And they are supposed to select efficient candidates. Their job is eliminate the rascals out. Their job is select the efficient candidates in. So for selecting efficient candidates in services, they have to recruit the examination in difficult method. Thus was preliminary examination. If you look at previous years examination papers,
Sorry
the
for
model papers or test paper
Yes, sir.
something.
Sorry for interrupt. Now the Zoom first session is going to end. So I request all the students, please re-log in after the completion of this webinar. So we will post in the chat box. The feedback form is there. So 11/5 we will post that. Just you feed it and you will get a e-certificate. So please don't confusion. Try to remember that re-log in again. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.